All right, so I'm going to tell you the truth. And if you want to get into this content creation thing, I'm here for it. Like, I'm going to support you. I love it. But I have to be honest, you're going to have to develop some extremely thick skin if you want to make it in the online space. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, hello, my name is Jasmine. I'm so glad to have you. I have been a full-time content creator now for 6 years. I will be celebrating my 6-year anniversary in a couple of weeks. It's crazy. I started during COVID. Now, when I first started, you guys, I did not always have thick skin, but the online business that I chose to start, which was OnlyFans, required it. Okay. I am an OnlyFans creator. I started my online business doing OnlyFans. And if you know anything about the platform, you're going to have some thick skin, because a lot of people in society, I think it's become more normalized now, but back then when it just started popping, people were not for it. Like my family, my friends, they were not for it. No one supported it. And everyone called me stupid. And they called me stupid for not only quitting my job, but starting OnlyFans. And that required me to develop thick skin. I was miserable at my 9 to 5, and I've made other videos about how much I hated my job. And so for me, it was like, shoot, OnlyFans is better than this shit, right? And so I quit. I didn't have any money saved up, and it's been on the up from there. You're gonna have to develop thick skin, because no matter what kind of business you choose to start, not everybody's going to be in agreement, and they don't have to be, right? Everyone is entitled to feel how they feel. That doesn't mean that's how you have to feel, right? People may not agree with the OnlyFans business that I chose, but as long as I agree with it, that's all that matters. You're going to have to realize that you can't make everyone happy, and you will waste your life trying to appease others. I've been there, I've done it, and it causes nothing but misery. When you start living life for you and doing the things that you want to do and just focusing on what's going to make you happy, that's when you're going to develop all of this self-confidence. That's when you're going to develop discipline. That's when you're going to become more consistent, because you're genuinely happy with the things that you chose to do for you, not for other people. And the crazy thing is, a lot of times we're trying to appeal to people who don't pay any of our bills. Right? We're trying to make other people happy who really don't do anything for our own life, right? We got to stop that. And when you get on the internet, no matter what kind of content you choose to create, you're going to have people who have something to say. I've noticed the internet has made it so much easier for people to talk their shit, because there's no consequence for it, right? And I've noticed that, like, even in my own personal life, like with arguments that I've had with friends, I've noticed that people get a lot more bold via text, via the comment section. But I've never, even when I've argued with people, never had they brought that same energy to a face-to-face interaction. It's never been that. It's always through the safety of a phone. That's what the internet is. People can say what they want to say. They can be as mean as they want to be, and they don't have to reap any of the repercussions, because you don't know who they are. You're not going to find them. So it just allows people to be more bold. But just because they say something that might be inappropriate, just because they say something to try to tear you down, that doesn't mean that it has to. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with what they say. You're going to have to develop thick skin. And I used to be very sensitive. I'm still sensitive to this day, but it's just with different things. You're going to have to stop being so damn sensitive. And in order to do that, you're going to have to start living life for you. I've noticed that I became way more confident in myself when not only did I start making decisions based off of what I want to do for my own life and not caring what others think, but also by keeping promises that I make to myself. If someone was to call me stupid in a comment today, like right now, that wouldn't offend me, because I've built up enough proof for myself to know that I'm not stupid, right? I can just look at all the things that I've accomplished in my life, and I can be like, okay, well, would a stupid person had gone to college and got a degree? No. Would a stupid person had started a 6-figure business? No. Would a stupid person be able to post consistently and build their platforms? No. I have this long list of things that I've accomplished for myself. So no matter what someone says, I know that's not true, because I can see for myself what I've done. The reason why you might not have thick skin, or the reason why you might let the opinions of others bother you, is because you believe that whatever they're saying is true. Otherwise, it wouldn't bother you, right? You may believe that you're ugly. I'm just throwing this out here. Maybe you're afraid to post because you're afraid someone's going to call you ugly. Okay, but the only reason why that comment would bother you, if it bothered you, is because that's how you feel about yourself. But the only reason you feel ugly, if that's what you feel, is because of the things that you don't do for yourself. I used to struggle with that too. In my early 20s, I did not find myself attractive. And I didn't do anything to make myself feel attractive. I was extremely overweight. I never really took care of my hair, so I didn't make sure I was in the hair salon growing my hair. I didn't, put on makeup or do my lashes or anything like that. I didn't even do my nails. I didn't have a skincare regimen. I didn't work out. Like, there were so many things that I was not doing that, allowed me to feel like I was ugly. But I wasn't ugly. It's just because I treated myself like I was. A lot of times, if you feel that way, well, then just change it. There's nothing wrong with you physically. It's just because of the things that you don't do. Maybe you don't brush your hair. Maybe you don't put on makeup. Maybe you don't even try. You just roll up out of bed and you just go, looking like who did it and why. But if you put yourself together, if you put in some effort into your appearance, you won't feel ugly. So then therefore, when someone does say something like that in a comment, you're not going to agree with it because now you know you're not, because you can see for yourself that you're not. So you're going to have to develop thick skin if you want to be online. You can't continue to live life crying and stressing over what somebody who doesn't even have a profile picture or a username and living in their mama's basement somewhere says about you. That's not going to benefit you. That's not going to progress you. So why are we worried about it? Why are we worried about it? The things that people say about OnlyFans creators is absolutely disgusting. But it doesn't offend me because I know I'm not that. Like, people will try to say OnlyFans creators are prostitutes. Well, I'm not a prostitute, so why would that offend me? People try to say OnlyFans creators are lazy. Well, I know I'm not lazy, so why would that offend me? The only reason why the things that people say may offend you is because deep down inside you believe it to be true. So if you believe it to be true, well, then change it so it's not true for you anymore, and then you don't have to worry about what people say. I told you guys, I think when I was losing weight, I started making weight loss and fitness content. And I made a YouTube channel. My Instagram started, going viral. And I was just like showing people my workouts and stuff like that. And the comment section would be brutal on Instagram. Out of all the platforms I'm on, Instagram is by far, for me, the most brutalist. And maybe it's because that's where I've had the most virality, right? So most of my exposure comes from Instagram. And people were calling me fat. People were saying I looked bad in my gym clothes. And that wasn't even the majority. The majority of the comments were very positive. The majority of the comments, people were motivating me and telling me I look good. But, I noticed negative comments just tend to feel bigger than what they are, right? And I was guilty of it too. We tend to hyper focus on the negative stuff, right? But in the grand scheme of things, there were way more positive comments than negative ones. But the reason why those negative comments were getting to me at that time was because deep down inside, I still believed I was fat. Even though I had lost a significant amount of weight, I still wasn't at my dream body, right? I wasn't at my dream body yet. And so I knew that deep down inside, I still had work to do, right? And so when people would say those things, even though they were trying to be mean, like, it's not like they were just giving constructive criticism. No, they were really trying to be mean. They were trying to tear me down. But the reason why it was working was because that's also how I felt deep down inside. So what I stopped doing, or what I started doing in order to not be bothered by the comments, was I stopped looking at the comments. I still don't look at the comments on Instagram today. I look at my YouTube comments. I do make sure I respond to you guys, but on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I don't respond to those comments. And again, a lot of them are very positive, but I've just noticed, like I said, Instagram has just always been like a negative. It's where the most negativity for me has been. So in order to protect my peace, I just don't respond there. But the point I'm making is, I just decided to stop responding, stop looking, and to just focus on what I was doing in the first place, which was losing weight. And now that I've lost all of my weight, and now that I'm happy with my body, if someone was to say something, let's say I made another fitness video and someone was to say, oh, you look terrible in your gym set, that wouldn't offend me anymore, because I know I don't, because I've been spending years working on it, right? And I am so confident in my body and my physique today. So There's a reason why what people say offends you or upsets you. And it's because deep down inside you believe that to be true. But it doesn't have to stay true. You can fix it. You can change it, whatever it is. And also just understand that the internet is here to talk. Anything that you post, people are allowed to say what they want to say. That doesn't make it right. I think that when people do try to tear people down, it's because that's really how they feel about themselves. Back to the fitness stuff, most of the negative comments when I was looking were also overweight women. If I can recall, it was never a woman who was in shape and, bodybuilder type or, really ripped up, cut up, because she's confident in who she is, so she doesn't need to tear me down. I would see a lot of people who were very in shape saying nice things like, keep going, your transformation is motivational, right? Because they don't feel bad about themselves. It's only people who feel bad about themselves who feel the need to try to make other people feel bad. And if you can remember that, I promise you, you will start to feel so much better. Someone's negative comment, whether it's online or someone that you know personally, it's really just a reflection of them and how they feel about themselves. And the only reason why you might agree with what they say is because that's how you feel about yourself. So don't let negative comments stop you. Don't fear negative comments because, like I said, most of the comments that I get are positive, but it's the negative ones that tend to stand out the most. I think that's just natural. That's normal human behavior. But you're going to have to develop some thick skin if you want to be online. And the longer you do it, the thicker your skin will get. I promise. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to read what you guys have to say. Also, you guys make sure you subscribe to my channel and join the Patreon. The link is down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.